Hi and welcome to Movies Suck. I just happened to be flicking through YouTube and I was thinking about the Terminator Dark Fate and I came across a new trailer. It's only been out a very short amount of time, so I thought we'd have a bit of a look at it. And since I found the new trailer, I thought to myself, I wonder if anything else has come out. And I found an extended trailer as well. Unfortunately, that's all in Russian, but we'll have a look at that in just a minute. This one's actually half in Spanish, so swings and roundabouts. There's very little English going on around here, but let's have a bit of a look.
Buenos días, Mona.
Ay, hace 2 días tenía una vida muy simple.
¿Qué onda, pa? Hey, buenos días.
Diego, let's go. We're running late.
Pero se volvió una pesadilla.
Sí.
Buenas. Se encuentra Daniela Ramos.
Well, so far it's interesting. We're actually getting to see a little bit more of the actual story. Previous trailers have just shown us a bunch of random action, which we couldn't link to anything particularly, and just left us feeling like, well, we've mostly watched the film. I actually prefer trailers like this when you actually get more story rather than just every action piece that's in the film, because that way you get a bit more of an idea about whether the film's worth seeing or not. Because once you've watched all the action in the trailer, then I half feel like the film isn't worth it anymore. But let's have a little further of a look. Yes, I understand Spanish. She said Papa. That was obviously her dad that we saw earlier at the door when, whatever the name of that guy that's playing the Rev 9, why they decided to call it Rev 9, I don't know, turned up the door, obviously wanting to find her just the way it did in the second film and the first film, looking for, what is that little girl's name? I can't remember, it doesn't matter. To be honest, I'm not going to remember any of these people's names, and I'm not likely to try. But let's watch a little bit further, where her papa has been shot by horrible Securitas woman, or otherwise known as Cyborg. I don't want to call her a Terminator. She's obviously not a Terminator. She's clearly not exactly human, so I'm going to call her the Cyborg.
It's not your father. Come with me, or you're dead in the next 30 seconds.
No, she should have said, come with me if you want to live.
Hay una máquina que me quiere matar.
Go faster, faster! Fire! You, Danny, you're my mission.
And confirming that it is all about the girl, which we knew in the first place. But where is John? Why does no one need to protect John? This is so strange. Surely John needs protection from all these Terminators that are just suddenly turning up. No? I wonder why not. Does this occur to anyone else but me that this Spanish guy who's playing the Rev 9, when you see her turn up, he looks like he's just stood there waiting to go. It just feels like the start of a script and the director's just gone, action! And then he starts running.
What is that? I don't know.
My name is Sarah Connor. I hunt Terminators. Enough of a resume for you.
She's actually looking pretty scary now. Could have had her in that Hellboy movie. That had enough scary stuff in it. Well, pretty gross looking anyway. I'm very sorry, I do not mean that. She is awesome. I really loved her in the Terminator 2 and Terminator films, and I'm sure she's going to be good in this one too. I wish she'd smoked a few less cigarettes though. And the Spanish girl looks pretty hot here. Maybe that's why she's in the film, to try and make up for how extremely unhot the cyborg lady looks.
How do we stop this thing?
I'm going to help you change the future.
I'm done.
I thought the future is already set. I thought the premise of this film is that Stuff happened anyway. We changed all this stuff and it still happened. You can't change your fate. Why would you be able to change the future, which is technically your fate? I'm not sure what they're blithering on about with this film, but let's watch a bit further.
Done running. I'm gonna stand and fight.
Seem remarkably ill-equipped to stand and fight. When you've got you got a Smith cyborg and a Terminator helping you out, and you're still trying to run away and things. Maybe it happens before that. Maybe they haven't met Arnold Schwarzenegger by the time she says, I'm gonna stand and fight, because I really don't see how she's supposed to against a Terminator who's bulletproof, small arms proof, fireproof, explosion proof. Any more proofs we require to actually find out whether this girl can stand up to the Terminator? What she means is, I'm going to stand and fight with you guys' help to protect me from the danger, because I really can't do shit on my own. Sorry about that. I would like to help, but you know, I'm just a plain old human and can't do anything. Anyway, back to the trailer.
You can't die, Danny. If you don't make it, everybody dies.
Hang on. If she doesn't make it, everybody dies? What about John Connor? If John Connor doesn't make it, everybody dies. Where's John Connor in this? And they already did the whole thing in Terminator 2 and saved everybody, so why would anybody die for this one? Could it be that they've decided to just change the whole thing up again? I don't know. What do you think? Maybe they've thought to themselves, well, all those films we made after Terminator 2 Judgment Day, they were panned. They didn't do very well. So what we need is feminism. Let's put some more girls in here, because I'm sure the female market for Terminator films is far, far bigger than the male market. We'll have lots more women coming to see this girl and the beta male looking Rev 9. I'm sure that's going to turn out to be a fantastic marketing ploy. Don't you guys all think that's going to be the best marketing ploy possible? Feminism! Not cancer. It's awesome. Yay for feminism. No, 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 it is cancer.
Why not just let me have her?
Because we're not machines, you metal mother.
Still gotta say, Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2 was absolutely awesome. I still think she kicks ass. But she's aging a little bit. I do think, though, that when the cyborg grabs her out of the bed and like throws her up against the wall, I think that she should have done better than that. They're obviously showing how powerful the cyborg is. It got the drop on Linda Hamilton. But no, I think that Sarah Connor should have been able to handle that. Anyway, let's finish this trailer a bit quick. Then blah 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 blah, explosion-y, aeroplane crashy stuff that we saw in the previous trailer. Unimportant, but still slightly different footage. We get to actually see the characters a little bit more rather than just a load of explosions and shooting. And then we have this extended trailer that I found, which is basically just in Russian. So I'm sorry for all of you people out there who do not speak Russian. I, of course, am fluent in Russian, provided being fluent in Russian means not being able to understand a single word they're saying, but probably being able to emulate it if I really tried. Let's have a bit of a look.
Danny, пристегни ремень!
Danny, you need it. No, okay, I can't do Russian. Accent emulator. It has been extremely bothersome to me, the idea that those iron bars, well, it's probably steel bars because they're rebar, went through the Terminator. Does this bother anyone else? These metal bars went through a Terminator. We know that the outside of the skin on that Terminator, the Rev 9, is that polymetal stuff from Terminator 2. mimetic polyalloy. So how, that's fine. I can imagine the bars go through. I mean, Arnie did the same thing in the second film, but the inside of that mimetic polyalloy is a full Terminator skeleton. So those two bars managed to find 2 points within that skeleton where they could pass straight through. What were the odds of that? They really should have more than likely bounced off and bothered him slightly, not pin him to the seat in that way. Especially since it's just a cyborg throwing them. She is not a Terminator. There's no way she has the strength to throw a metal bar through a Terminator, which is probably made of adamantium for all the hell we know. Or at least probably still steel, because they did melt him in the steel, in that vat of steel in the second film, but it would be super tough steel, and there's no way she could have thrown that hard enough. Not to mention it's got to get through the mimetic polyalloy before it even hits the main skeleton, so that's been bugging me ever since I saw this in the previous trailer. But sorry, let's watch a bit further. And why did they choose to make the skeleton of the new Terminator kind of black? I don't understand that. Why would the manufacturing process go to the effort to black him up with a bit of bluing or something? Surely they're just leaving bare metal. I mean, a metal skeleton is going to look pretty scary, whether it's shiny or not shiny. What is it about the metal that's made it black? Is it even stronger metal than the previous metal that previous Terminators were made of? Maybe that's why it's gone a black kind of colour. In that case, why the hell can she throw bloody metal bars through him? That's going to piss me off forever. The speed at which she fell off that truck made me think of the O.J. Simpson chase down the motorway. Really slow. Because there's no way she landed going from that speed and just rolled over like twice and then she was like, yeah, I'm fine. You'd have gone pinwheeling down the road at that speed. She'd have landed like half a mile down the road and had to sprint back just to catch up to them. I also find that slightly strange, that he does those facial features of like, there we go, I'm all back together again. Because it's just a machine, it wouldn't do that sort of thing. That vaguely looks like an emotional reaction to going back together again. If you remember, I've forgotten his name from Terminator 2, the T-1000 anyway. Something Patrick. Anyway. He had no expression particularly when his body parts were coming back together. He just glanced down at his toe of his shoe when a bit of him was coming back on, or those bits and bobs. He didn't do any of this sort of stuff particularly. I just find that slightly strange as well for a machine.
Когда он нападет, беги. Что?
Also, that Rev 9 skeleton has an awful lot of space inside the chest cavity. Do you guys see that? Where are his batteries and things? I really thought that space would be filled with technology and bits and bobs to make him work. It just seems strange that he would have such an empty skeleton. I know you've got to fit the mimetic polyalloy into the skeleton and things, and the mimetic polyalloy must have a skeleton-shaped gap within it, unless of course he's shrunk by about 5 inches when he becomes the separate mimetic polyalloy robot, but what do I know? I'm not the person that made the film. am rather curious about what happens after that point. How does firing an RPG at the skeleton stop the skeleton? I mean, what happened after that? That's one thing I'm looking forward to seeing the film for. What happened?
I'll be back.
I'll be back. I prefer it when Arnold Schwarzenegger says it, honestly. I don't know why they decided to gender swap Arnold Schwarzenegger's catchphrase. Should have just left it with him, and he could have said it somewhere funny or cool, and that would have been better than having Linda Hamilton say it. Sarah Connor's cool enough. She doesn't need her own catchphrase. She never had one before, except maybe no fate but what we make. But anyway.
Меня зовут Сара Коннор. 29 августа 97 года мы с моим сыном Джоном предотвратили судный день.
Okay, this is just stuff we've seen in previous Terminator trailers. I doubt there's going to be anything new there. Let's have a quick look through. Yeah, then there's Saturn, the car. Let's play a little bit now. Maybe there's a bit more.
Мне было как ей сейчас, когда они прислали Терминатора, чтобы убить меня.
Sarah Connor.
Oh my god, you killed my son! Because that's what we think is the reason she's so annoyed when she sees that particular Terminator, whose name is going to be Carl, apparently. Because we all know they've decided to kill John Connor off. That would have been one too many men in this film doing cool action sequences. We got the bad guy man, and then we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then a bunch of women. No doubt kicking ass, taking care of the future for us all. And we appreciate them for doing that. None of us want to be killed by a bunch of machines. Even though many of us are killed by a bunch of machines, it's called road traffic accidents. But anyway, they're usually men, so who cares? That's probably not true. There's probably an even split in road traffic accidents. It's factory accidents that are usually men.
Вижу, ты расстроена.
You gotta say, Russian does sound pretty cool for saying things. Anything, doesn't matter. Especially if you say something in a Russian accent in English. Just doesn't matter, just say Russian stuff. It's pretty interesting. At least it's a change from the other trailer, which was in Spanish. I'm sure they'll release an English one eventually.
Я помогу защитить девушку.
I will teach her how to defend herself and how to destroy Terminators using a gun and watermelons, because everyone knows that Terminators resemble watermelons and are just as easy to destroy. And Linda Hamilton's face there, yeah, well done, tiny little Mexican girl. You can do it! Except that she probably can't, because she needs the help of other Terminators to destroy the Terminator, because otherwise how the hell is she supposed to destroy a Terminator? Unless, of course, she's going to crawl through a big metal press and do Linda Hamilton style. She's got a fair chance with that, although then the mimetic polyalloy would just come crawling off and get out of the press and try and kill her. So that solves half the problem. So what she needs is a metal press to destroy the main skeleton, while she's inside a factory that also smelts metal to destroy the mimetic polyalloy one. Oh my god, have I just given away the ending of the film? Oh no, I do apologize, everyone.
Когда все закончится, покончу с тобой.
Я понимаю.
Я таких еще не видела. Почти как человек. Я и есть человек. Только усовершенствованный.
Отдайте мне девушку.
Нет.
Почему вы ее защищаете?
Потому что мы не машины.
Has anybody else wondered why the Rev 9 has random spiky metal bits, which it uses to kill the people and things? It seems to stick with the same ones, and they're kind of random. Remember the T-1000 from Terminator Judgment Day? Its metal accoutrements were mostly modelled on things like kitchen knives and other sharp objects, and they just looked like knives, whereas here they've decided to create some sort of futuristic-y style, maybe, I don't know, knifey things that he is killing people with. Which seems rather strange and not very utilitarian to make them all weird shaped and stuff. It made a lot more sense in the T-1000 in Terminator 2 that they were just straight blades. That's all they were. Just blades which did their job. They were supposed to cut, they did that. Just seems odd that they've gone with some sort of stylistic type of knife and cutting implements, rather than just making them utilitarian, which is what machines would more than likely do, because they're not so interested in looks, interested in function. But that's movies for you. They're not necessarily thinking about things the way that the rest of us do. Or perhaps just me. Maybe I'm just crazy. What was that, God? I'm not crazy. It's fine.
Кто не умрет из-за меня? Если ты не справишься, мы все умрем.
Still majorly bothered by that scene where she cuts him up there. Obviously that's just a mimetic polyalloy guy and not the skeleton, so I wonder where the skeleton is at that point. It's interesting. And why did he just allow her to cut him up with the chain in that way? He could have reformed around the chain, reformed his hands around the chain as she was swinging it, and then grabbed it and pulled it away from her and thrown her. This is the sort of thing we saw Robert Patrick do as a T-1000 in the second film. He did things like that. Remember when he got punched in the face by Arnie? And he reformed his hand, so his hand ended up where his face was, and then he was grabbed hold of Arnold Schwarzenegger's fist? You would have thought it would do things like that. Maybe they forgot to do that anywhere in this film. I don't know. Okay, was it just me, or did whoever that Mexican guy is look absolutely tiny in comparison with Arnie at that point where he just grabs him? He looks so small. It's a good thing he can turn into two people, because how the hell else is he supposed to take on Arnie? I don't know. But, as you can see, this is pretty much the entire film. I'm sure all of you guys out there are thinking to themselves, well, I don't need to go see that anymore. I'm pretty much thinking that as well. I'm gonna go just because I want to see what happens to the skeleton-y bit after that car chase in the lorry, where Linda Hamilton turns up and saves their butts. What did she do with that RPG, and then what did she do when she walked up to him with a shotgun? I'm very curious to find out. But anyway, I hope you guys are all looking forward to watching Terminator Dark Fate. I know I am. Did I say that? Really? Sorry, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not. You all know it's going to be some sort of feminist rubbish, and they're going to have killed off John Connor right at the start of the film, the way we've heard about from the leaks. And they're just feminizing the whole thing. I'm very disappointed in James Cameron. I'm extremely disappointed. It would have been good if he had actually turned up on set once or twice to see how things are going, instead of working away at his Avatar films and writing, feverishly trying to fix the script at night and then sending them pages for them to film the next day, because that does not fill me with confidence that this is going to be a great film. But I always live in hope. I like the Terminator franchise. I just want it to be good. And let's face it, it cannot get any worse than Terminator Genesis. It really cannot. So, we're on a plus side already. Unless, of course, the feminism aspect of this really does screw the whole thing up. We will see. This is Movie Suck signing out. Leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.